Hello and welcome to Cheeseman Returns. I'm Dan Cheeseman.
And I'm Alice. Hiya, Babs.
Hello, and today we're talking about the Odyssey. So we're going to start off with a quiz like we did last time.
Yeah, good luck to me.
And it's going to be names of characters that appeared in the Odyssey.
Okay.
So the first one, nice and easy, we're going to start off is Telemachus.
That is Odysseus' son, played by Tom Holland.
Perfect. Argos.
Oh, that's the ancient Greek place where you use a little pen to write down your order and get an item.
You hand over a little receipt, and then they go around the back, and then they get it out for you.
Yeah.
But it was also a city, and in this it was Odysseus's dog.
Ah, very cute dog.
Next up is Melantho.
Melantho. It's a very cool name. I have... is it the Odysseus' best mate on the voyage?
No.
No, tell me then.
It's the annoying handmaid.
Oh, yeah.
Mia Goth.
Mia Goth. I love Mia Goth.
The treacherous one.
Oh, yes.
And then she actually has a brother who is also a treacherous member of their...
Oh, was he the one who was throwing the spears down?
No, I think he was the guy who betrayed John Leguizamo.
Oh, okay. Treacherous family.
Okay, keep in mind one of your previous answers. Eurylochus.
Oh my god. Is that the best mate?
Yes, that's Himesh Patel, who we know from Tenet.
The one who kept not following orders.
Yeah, the one who's mutinied in the end.
Yeah, kind of mini mutiny.
Yeah. Okay, last one is Clytemnestra.
I know who she is because she's played with electric power by Lupita Nyong'o, and she is Agamemnon's wife, the
That's
the
right.
queen.
Yeah, Lupita in dual roles.
In a dual role, yeah.
As
Not her first
Clytemnestra.
either.
No, and Helen.
Yeah.
So with Oppenheimer, we kind of knew where the film was heading, but we didn't necessarily know the details of his life. How much did you know about the Odyssey coming into this?
Well, I've never read it. I may have attempted parts of it, like when I was at school, but I always knew it was about a long journey back to his wife and son with a lot of adventures or misadventures along the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I suppose it forms quite a foundation of a lot of stories that came after it. So there's probably more relevance to a lot of it than we think.
So I'm not too bad with Greek mythology, but that's mostly thanks to Wonder Woman, Hercules, 300, Clash of the Titans, and Jason of the Argonauts.
Yeah.
I did read a lot about ancient Greeks when I was about 8 years old. A lot of like the trials of Heracles and Theseus and the Minotaur and stuff like that.
Yes, classic.
But I don't remember where I absorbed the story of the Odyssey. But I do know it already. And I half remembered it. And I'd seen a lot in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of the film feel kind of like a checklist of adventures for me.
Yeah, same. Like, oh, we've got to this bit. Yep, okay.
Oh yeah, it's onto the giants next. Yeah. Certainly a lot of people seem to claim to know the Odyssey very well.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of alleged historians and bigots questioning the casting, the accents, and the prop accuracy in the run-up to the release.
None of that really matters. It's, it's a story, it's an ancient story. So what if they use American accents?
It's not a true story.
Yeah, and diversity just should be something that runs through everything these days.
Yeah, definitely. And if they spoke in a really lyrical way, like the original poem, I think that would take us out of it a little bit.
Absolutely. Much less accessible.
Yeah, in a grounded Nolan film. And no one ever said that it was the definitive Odyssey.
No, exactly.
There were no jokes as far as I could tell. Which is odd, because even in the quite serious world of Christopher Nolan, there usually are some.
I suppose. I'm trying to think, were there any jokes in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, there was some lightheartedness, definitely.
Yeah.
Which does seem strange, looking on the subject matter. But I think we
does.
picked that up in our review of that one.
Well, I believe you.
There also wasn't any sex.
No, I mean, there was intimacy between Odysseus and Penelope at the start.
Yeah.
Obviously tinged with sadness at him leaving. And there's kind of palpably, at points throughout the film, there's hints and more than hints of sexual violence. Which
Definitely,
which is different.
Do you think Cersei was right about the men? Do you think when she says they would have?
Not necessarily, no, but I'm not 100% on that. And also I think it's quite clear that Samantha Morton, who's playing her excellently, is playing her as someone who has definitely experienced abuse in the past from men, from soldiers, and that has completely clouded her view of anyone who comes to her shores.
Yeah.
I have to say as well that, I mean, it was a really cool scene, but the scene where Cersei did turn the men into pigs was so gross.
Oh, it was disgusting.
That, more unexpectedly more gross than I thought. And I'm not really sure why she had to turn them all manually, one by one. But ew.
I guess that's how magic works in Christopher Nolan's world. Like, he wouldn't do, CGI coming out of their hands or whatever.
No, bibbidi bobbidi boo, you're all pigs. Yeah, I guess. And it makes it more stomach churning, doesn't it? But it really was.
It was pretty much horror, that scene. Even just with the stuff sticking out of their mouths, where they couldn't quite. That was gross.
That was rank, yeah. But well done, everyone.
Yeah. Returning to the absence of sex in it.
Yeah.
The sirens, we barely saw them at all.
Yeah.
I feel like we just skipped past them. I reckon that must be 1 minute of the film almost.
Yeah, it was more their effect. It was just focusing on their effect on the men, I suppose.
Which had been changed into something much more sad in the film.
Yeah, actually, I thought that was really interesting. Odysseus was saying it's telling you what your dream is and what you've let go and what you're kind of afraid to go back to.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, I'd not heard it explained like that before or considered like that before. I thought that was really interesting.
I mean, it's a brand new take on Odysseus, really, isn't it? In this version, it's really PTSD and guilt that's keeping him from going home. Yeah,
and shame. Shame for what happened at Troy.
Yeah, and a little bit Calypso. Do we think he had sex with Calypso?
Yes, I do.
It shouldn't really be a surprise, as Christopher Nolan is very interested in flawed heroes. And we have seen in Inception and Interstellar already flawed heroes who are trying to get home.
Yeah.
There's definitely some similarities with Dunkirk as well, with the war and the sailing and how sad it all is.
Yeah, and the kind of actions taken in haste that are then kind of have unavoidable repercussions.
And with Oppenheimer, you've got a remorseful man who's also taken part in a terrible crime.
Yes, yeah. What do you think Odysseus meant by when he says, they will forget our lessons?
Oh, at the end of the film?
Yeah.
It's about the end of an empire and the end of the Bronze Age. And there's a suggestion that war wears away the basic social norms and accepted morality.
Yeah, which is very true, really.
Yeah.
Things are accepted in war which would never be accepted in peacetime.
And what is accepted now in the modern day is shifting.
Yeah, agree, absolutely.
Given that they're always on the right side of history throughout the film, it kind of felt like propaganda written by the Greek pantheon.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you think, I have my view, do you think, for example, Athena, do you think she was real within the context of the film? Do you think she was really there?
Ooh, that's difficult. She very well could have been just somebody he was seeing because of his PTSD.
Like at the temple girl, there was a temple girl who was killed. And thereafter, that's when he sees Athena. I mean, personally, I think in the context of the film, yes, it is Athena. And she's using the face of that temple girl to remind him of his wrongs and of his shame and justice, like throughout the journey. I think when you accompany it with things like Calypso, even though she looked like she was in Dior beachwear, and not particularly kind of necessarily seeming that powerful, when you combine things like Circe and the magic and the claps of thunder, whenever, especially in the finale of the film, where
was cool,
the action scenes and Zeus is agreeing with what's happening. You can see he's giving his verdict with the thunder in the background.
And when Poseidon is punishing them at sea.
Yes, exactly. And I do think with all that context and with the fact that you have monsters, or you have these creatures like the Cyclops and all of that kind of stuff, I think, to me, yes, it is meant to be taken that she's real. And
so the presence of the other goddesses in the film makes it more likely that Athena is meant to be real as well.
I think so, yes. And speaking of things that Zeus agreed with, killing Antinous was definitely one of them. And I have to say, another top-notch villain role for our Pats, quickly becoming one of my favourite actors.
What an amazing run of films he's having.
Brilliant.
With the gods in mind, I think a lot of us running up to this film wondered how Christopher Nolan was going to apply his sensibilities to this quite fantastical film.
Yeah.
And in a way, everything was exactly as I kind of thought he would do it.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So his mantra is to remove the impossible as much as he can.
Yes.
So that he can focus on the characters.
The humanity.
Yeah. He describes it as grounded and accessible. I don't think adult audiences would reject the extraordinary.
No.
But if you're going to do a Christopher Nolan film, and we know what he prefers.
Yes.
And it works, it looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic. I think, like you were talking about the thunder for Zeus, I think that just really works. We don't have to have a physical manifestation.
No, exactly. And it does play in as well to like the fact, I think the soundtrack itself by Ludwig Göransson, that it was amazing, and that was very mystical and very ancient.
With the horns.
Yeah, it kind of lent itself so well to that idea that you're hearing a saga from long, long ago.
Oh, yeah. They could almost have had another frame. I know that would have made the film even longer. Another framing device.
Yeah.
Where somebody is telling the story like a bard.
Yeah, they could have done. That's quite, I don't know, I think that can quite quickly feel like quite old-fashioned. But yes, I'm sure he would have found a great way to do it. So how do you feel about, because he must have done on Scylla, the multi-headed monster in the rocks. He must have done CGI on that, but it was very sparing, I felt.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why it was almost a cameo, why it was in the film for such a short time.
Yes.
Nolan was like, I don't want to put CGI in my film.
No, and the thing is, you don't need to linger on it. Like, they had it was a very dramatic sequence.
Yeah.
But you don't need to.
Odysseus playing the trolley problem.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then you've also got...
It's horrible, but he really had no choice.
Well, no, he didn't. It's either everyone or those six. So,
yeah,
unfortunately...
That's what being a leader is.
Yeah. It's not always easy decisions. So how did you feel, again, about like the Cyclops and the way the Cyclops was done? Because I thought that was really cool.
That worked very well. Well, of course, you've got a real man there, so it doesn't look all shonky CGI.
Yeah.
And I like that they... moved the features.
Yes, I loved that. I thought that was done so well, and it didn't feel comical. It felt odd, but it didn't feel ridiculous. It was slightly grotesque, but not ridiculous.
And it being in the dark made it very creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it worked. Do you think we were supposed to care about Odysseus's men?
That's a difficult one. It's a really good question. Kind of yes and no. What do you think?
I think we didn't really get to know them.
No.
So we were never particularly emotionally connected to them.
No. There's a few of them that are spotlit at certain points, but...
Yeah. And weirdly, they just start getting picked off before you could get to know them. Yeah. So you're just like, oh, okay, there goes another one.
Yeah.
And then the thing that you eventually find out about them is only at the end that we're confronted with their sins at Troy. Mm-hmm. And that makes us feel less sympathy towards them.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd... Yeah, I can see why that reveal was done at the end. But yeah, it almost makes you think... I think it really plays with the idea of fate. Like they're all... We know, we're almost... It's almost like we, the audience, are in the position of the gods in some way, because we're watching all of this take place. We know that they're all fated to die. We know Odysseus is going to be the only one who returns, and I think that affects your kind of perception of it as well.
Yeah. I did notice that one of the Nolan tropes was missing in all of these action scenes, which is usually when there is an act of violence, Nolan cuts away. So if you think of Tenet and they're pulling the protagonist's teeth at the start, and we're given a train coming across the screen to drown out his screams and the sounds and what we're seeing, or there's a musical cue in The Dark Knight when the Joker kills Gamble.
Yeah.
But in this film, he kept the camera rolling.
Yeah, I do feel like it's the most kind of openly or explicitly violent of his films so far. Definitely.
I wonder why he decided to depart just for this film.
I guess it's part of the brutality of the time and the era. Like if you think about the puppies being a basket of puppies being like weeded out. It's like this place and this time is brutal in and of itself.
This is Sparta.
This is Ithaca.
Yeah.
And all of this was done just for the control of these lucrative trade routes. I mean, it wasn't really about Helen at all.
Yeah.
And so many years, the whole idea, I know it's part of the epicness of the saga, but like being on the beach for 10 years waiting to be able to get into Troy, it's just like...
Why not mutiny against...
Agamemnon,
yeah.
It seemed like he was almost... Within the story, as someone who wasn't a god, he was the closest to Zeus, I would have said. He was a right bastard. We won't go into like exactly what else, but let's just say Clytemnestra was right.
Yeah.
In what she did. But I felt like both alive and in the kind of underworld when they came back onto the beach in the underworld scene, he has got a real like brooding presence that all and with that huge helmet, the costume, everything kind of almost gave him that gravitas of a god. And like what he said when, and they had to do this lottery in Ithaca to select the men, and there was no question of we're not doing this anymore. Even after 10 years, they are doggedly, like, they are still following him.
It's horrible. The trade routes thing did kind of remind me of Star Wars Episode 1 though.
Yeah.
Because it's an argument over trade routes.
Over land and
Yeah, that kind of sets that ball rolling. I mean,
it is what most wars are actually for.
Are really about, yeah. And George Lucas is versed in a lot of mythology and stuff, so he may have even been directly influenced.
Another epic saga, series of films. And I could see it coming, but it was interesting to see that, everyone they speak to is afraid are you the people from the sea? Have you heard of the people from the sea? And the Ithacans are hearing that, and it's Odysseus and his men. They are the people from the sea. They're who everyone is afraid of. Yeah. I thought that was, a nice... A powerful kind of circular thing to come back to. Yeah,
there's a real, stomach punch. It was slowly dawning on me.
Yeah, same, exactly, yeah.
I do feel that quite a lot of my emotional connection to the film came at the end of the film. I feel like for a lot of the adventures, I was kind of like, oh yeah, there goes another one, and that all of the stuff that actually stirred me was once he had returned to Ithaca.
Yeah, because you do, whatever's happened and, you know, whatever's gone on, you do desperately want him to get back. You want Penelope to see him again. You want his son to see him again.
Yeah. And you want him to kill all those guys.
Yeah, to get the suitors. I thought that was, really interesting, the whole, like, Penelope undoing the weaving at night and how they're all balanced on this kind of knife edge of, you know, are they going to overthrow the castle? Are they, you know, all the kind of political and really tense kind of, they're basically squatting in there. And all the kind of Zeus's law thing and everything kind of being very, very tense in that scenario.
It's weird to see the royalty being the hostages.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Once again, Nolan has put together an amazing cast.
Yeah.
And they are all firing on all cylinders.
Absolutely.
Even where some of them don't really have that much screen time.
No, because I mean, looking at, like, you've got Charlize, you've got Elliot, John, and Lupita, as mentioned. She's amazing, but she does not get much screen time at all. I'd love to see her used more prominently in Nolan's next project, or just in more projects in general. I think she's an amazing lead actor.
Yeah, she's awesome. I felt that Lupita and Bernthal took these quite epic, known characters, you know, especially if you've watched the film Troy, and they turned it into a marriage that was falling apart, these wounded real life characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth, even though that they don't have much screen time. There is a lot of depth to those characters.
It probably won't surprise you to hear that John Bernthal was actually immersed in water when they were filming the Trojan horse scene.
Oh God, really? That did make me feel, that set off my claustrophobia. It really did.
Christopher Nolan and the cinematographer Van Hoytema got into the horse with all those actors to film that.
You can feel that. You can get that vibe, yeah.
It does look amazing. Like
it
paid off. You can also tell, of course, that they were on a real boat at sea.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Actually rowing. A lot of them were actually vomiting from seasickness, and Nolan filmed it. He got their permission, and then he filmed it.
Of course he did. And of course, comparisons with Dunkirk can be drawn. So both from the fact that, the actors were in real boats and kind of real sea conditions, but also it makes me think of the fact that the Ithacans were chosen by lottery, kind of similar to people being conscripted, men at Dunkirk being conscripted into the army. So again, it's like people being thrust into a situation that they didn't know what was going to happen, and they, you know, and not kind of an elite force. They are, they are men who
probably were throwing up.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you feel more sympathetic for Odysseus's men.
It does, yes.
Until you see their actions at Troy.
I actually, even though I felt that it wasn't obscenely done by any means, and it needed to be that strong and that impactful, but I really did feel quite upset during that scene, because it is very visceral. It does, really take you back to, yes, okay, they had 10 years, there was this frustration, it was wartime, but absolutely decimated. And
broke Zeus's law.
Yep. And that's where all of that punishment comes from, and the shame and the guilt and the, not actually wanting necessarily to get home.
I don't think before seeing this film I had thought of the Trojan horse as underhanded as it is. It's essentially like waving a white flag and then charging when everyone puts their weapons down.
Yeah, I think we've been taught, where you have heard about the Trojan horse, it's been more portrayed in a way of kind of cleverness and cunning. Wasn't this clever, and that almost like, not like the Trojans deserved it or anything like that, but that it's been framed that way. But then when you actually think of it as being like a religious artifact, and the desecration, like the destruction and desecration that came from it, as you say, that it makes it even more of a kind of this was really wrong.
Yeah. I do feel that the Odyssey fits in with Dunkirk and Oppenheimer as a Nolan film where they have to be experienced because they're such an amazing feat. But I feel tentative about returning to them.
Yeah,
because they're such serious, heavy films.
Absolutely, it's not in any way a comfort watch. There is so much sadness and poignancy that kind of weighs them down, but they are beautiful films.
Another film I was kind of reminded of was The Green Knight, because of it being a mythical story and really long. Speaking of the mild discomfort of a longer film, while the cold waves were splashing the beard that Christopher Nolan commanded Matt Damon to grow so that it would look authentic.
Yes.
And splashing the deck, and it was freezing cold and all that kind of stuff. Weirdly, we were sitting in the hottest Odeon in the world.
Yeah. Definitely not air conditioned.
Like, they can turn all of the seats into double beds, but they can't make the room nice and cool.
Sweaty double beds.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all from us for now.
Go and see it if you haven't already.
Yeah, it is a must-see.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.